back to the Full Thirds Podcast. I'm your host, Logan C. To my right, Jake Baycock, Karson Steele, and Grayson Moore. And we're back. We got a Week 1 recap, followed by our Week 2 predictions and picks. But we're going to start Week 1. A lot happened. We're going to start with our picks. We each gave out 5 picks on last week's episode, like we'll do this week. We gave out 1 lock, 4 other picks. And we're going to keep record, like I said, all season. So this is going to be an ongoing thing every week. So be sure to tune in early Thursday mornings to go ahead and put your bets in. If you're fading, if you're tailing, let us know. We're going to start out with the big winner of the week, Mr. Grayson Moore. Grayson went 5-0 on his picks last week. So if you tailed him, I mean, you're setting up 5 units probably. You're looking good. If you faded them, you're going to be like somebody else we'll get to later on the podcast.
Multiple ways to make money on this podcast.
Yeah, either way you want to go. We'll start out Western Kentucky. I locked them in last week, and I love that bet all the way through. Austin Reed was everything I hoped he would be. He threw for 2 touchdowns, and he ran in for 1. They forced 3 turnovers against South Florida, so I came out on top on that one. Michigan State was on Friday night. I hit that. Quarterback looked good, and running back looked really good. Covered that. Liberty was more of a sweat. Only covered that by like half a point. I really didn't think I was going to cover it last minute, but they ended up making a stop on defense, and we covered on that one. And then we'll jump to Alabama. I hit the over 51.5. Kind of was getting sweaty there at the end, but then we scored those. We scored a touchdown, and then Middle Tennessee State scored their touchdown. So, and then last but not least was Tulane. They covered well. I mean, 37-17 against South Alabama, and they looked really put together as a team. So it was a really good week. Don't expect that every week, but we'll hope for that every week.
So we also gave out, if you're new to the podcast, we gave out 3 picks for Week 0. So Grayson's total record for the season right now is 6-2, and that's a 75% average right now hit on the bets. I mean, that's better than you see on other podcasts. I'll tell you that. You go to the other college football podcasts and you ain't getting 75% on their picks. I guarantee it.
No, you're probably getting 12.
Yeah, like if they actually post their records and wins and losses,
exactly.
That's a big if.
Sounds
as
like
well.
a familiar number there.
Yeah.
12 sounds familiar. So, flip side of this podcast. What the hell happened, Karson?
Yeah, I'm not going to be as
What
mild.
the hell happened?
Let's get a round of applause here.
Yeah. Well, all right, Jacob. You're the only one that can speak on this. Which one is more impressive, 5-0 or 0-5?
5-0.
I mean,
Impressive.
I mean that's about
Let's
equal
be honest. When
opportunity
you're
here.
sweating out that last ball game with that 5-0, you kind of your butthole gets a little tight. Then you pee yourself a little bit, because you feel like but 0-5, I would have. God.
Yeah.
After about game 3, I would have just threw the phone, probably threw it away.
I hope there's somebody out there that did take all your bets. Like, I really do. Like, we don't. I mean, like, our fan base isn't huge.
And if you did, leave a comment.
what would you like to say that one person?
Well, in my head, I keep
This is to the one person that
That's
took
the one-
every bet.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I apologize.
Look at the
for
camera. Look at the camera.
I apologize out there, fan. No, I went to bed after that Clemson game, and in my head, I feel like we've got millions and millions of followers, and I just felt like all these people are in the YouTube comments are about to just flame my ass. I think I had to take a sleeping pill to go to bed. It was pretty rough. I'm not going to be as mild as my man here. I'm proud of your 5 picks, but I'm going to start out pretty strong. Big fuck you to Dabo Swinney, man.
Yeah, he's terrible.
What is why I don't? I seen a tweet today. It was like Dabo without a generational quarterback is just an average Joe.
Dabo went from a lot of 5-star players to like I put out Hunter Renfrow into the NFL. Let's get 22 of him.
Yeah.
And put them on a field at the same time and see what they can't do.
Well, I got a feeling we got a lot of takes about Dabo we can get in when we get Clemson.
The guy, if he refuses to use the transfer portal, big letdown there. I think everything fell apart for them. He said we've already used NIL. We used the name, image, and likeness of God.
Yeah, he says. Yeah,
come on, dude. I mean, he's Captain Cornball pretty much. I don't like the guy.
He said in an interview, he's took it back now, whatever. But he said as soon as we start paying players that he would retire that day. But he took it back, but he's
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, we've all seen that. I think I turned it off after the third quarter on that one.
So just to let everybody know, Carson's 5 picks right here. His lock was Clemson minus 12.5. Then Thursday night,
I rode with him on that.
you did.
Yeah, man. December babies were together. Hey,
Yeah.
let me go through these.
Yeah, go through it. Take the floor.
Because I feel like the Clemson was the only one that was bad. The other ones we had a fighting shot in. The Colorado under, it was looking pretty for the
LSU?
most part.
No, it was not,
'Cause
brother.
I had
No, it
a
was
text
not.
message from you and said that Colorado under is looking beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Colorado scoring early was not a good sign.
No.
What about LSU? You
Oh,
thought you had a shot in the LSU
No, I
game?
said that was my most iffy one. They came out that first drive. I'm like, we are.
The Colorado scoring first drive was good for me.
Good for you, yeah. But not good for his.
Are we believers in Colorado?
Oh,
I think we'll
dude.
get to that.
I've been
I
trying
think
to-
we're going to have some spicy takes on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Let's finish out our picks and just let everybody know the record.
Yeah,
right?
we'll zip through it. LSU, I was iffy on that. I feel like I just took that one because we talked so much about it.
That's what I did, but worked out for me.
I will say, I have to look at the rest of their schedule. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't lose another game until Bama. Maybe if they clean it up. I will say I like them going forward better than I do Florida. Florida did looks like they didn't even practice at all in the off. They're terrible.
Graham
Florida
Mertz
looks,
is their best player, and that's not a good sign.
There was 35 points in that game. They left 10 points, I think, in the first half. Both teams missed a field goal. The over could have hit in that game if they just didn't shoot theirs. They were in the red zone 3 times and had 3 points. That's bad.
They look
Terrible.
pitiful.
Sounds like another team that you bet on this week,
Yeah.
Clemson.
Yeah.
And LSU.
Watch your dirty
LSU
little
did it
mouth.
too. They went. Why did they keep going for it on 4th? And awful play calls.
LSU?
Yes.
Because Chip Kelly's dumb.
Brian Kelly.
Brian Kelly.
Whatever his name is. Chip, Brian.
All right, the only other pick you didn't talk about was Louisville minus 7.5.
Yeah, that
Wow.
one was cashing in. It didn't look like it was had a chance, and they stormed back. And then Vegas got on the line and said, "Hey, Carson's got to go 0-5 this week.
That was Friday. That was Friday.
We need y'all."
That was that predetermined.
Apparently, they got on the line. All they had to do was get one more stop, and I had it.
Yeah, and then that dude threw a bomb and mossed the kid at the 5-yard line.
It was to the point where, if I watched it, things were going bad, and if I didn't watch it, things were going good. So I went in my kitchen, and I was putting my pantry door on, and then I heard the crowd go nuts. I came back in. I was like, "Fuck me, I'm going to bed."
Yeah, that was tough. You had a couple bad beats there. I don't know. That one was a bad beat. The other ones felt like just kind of lost it. But so Carson's record counting week 0 is a crisp 1-7, 12%, like he said earlier.
Yeah.
We can move on to a little brighter path. Jacob, what did your
It's still
teams
not
do?
pretty. It's
I mean,
not beautiful. Hit that Washington bet.
Washington minus 14.5.
Did not look pretty there at the beginning of the ball game. I kept thinking,
It did not. It
we're
started
not
off,
even on the blue field today. How is this happening to me? And then it just turned red hot. And it's like Michael Penix Jr. was just like...
He turned red hot.
They caught fire.
Yeah.
Then Roma Dunze went crazy. What's the other wide receiver? I forgot his name. I keep forgetting his
Number
name.
11 was what he was, I think, or something like that. Their team looked so much more complete, especially after the second half. They started out, I was kind of worried about all the takes we had on them and Michael Penix, but it turned into they kind of fulfilled
Was it not
exactly
like a... Was it...
Yeah,
I think
Jay- Jalen Polk, he had 101 yards, touchdown. Jalen McMillan, he had 95 yards, 2 touchdowns.
That's just
Roma
the boy.
Dunze
I
had
got the boy.
132.
I got McMillan, I think, on my fantasy offense, too.
Yeah, he was the other wide receiver. Michael Penix, 29 for 40, 450 yards, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Yeah, so he's everything we
Pretty
kind
crisp.
of put there. Yeah.
Pretty crisp. Again, so a hopeful Boise State team.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they had hopes of being the New Year's Six G5 team.
Yeah.
Coming into this game, and now they got another tough game this week, I believe.
Mhm. I don't know if it's on here, but
It is. It's on. I seen it earlier on the UCF.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I mean,
UCF
UCF's not on
Central
UCF.
Florida isn't no pushover this year either, boys.
Yeah,
but they'll be
look
back
pretty
on the
good.
blue field that week, I think. So
Yeah.
it'll be
All right, so you cashed the Washington minus 14.5.
I also cashed with the rest of my gumps here in the room, hit that Bama over.
Yeah, Bama Middle
Love the
Tennessee
Bama
over.
over.
51
Not
and a
gonna lie,
half.
I felt so confident about that. I turned around, put money on Bama to cover too. Get
Yeah.
that. So
His
I
middle-
know what I thought would happen did happen.
Okay. Yeah, that was a pretty cut dry game.
Yeah,
Is Milrow the guy?
Miro is the guy.
I learned he was the guy when he picked that ball up and ran in for a touchdown. That was
Yeah,
that
it
was,
went-
phenomenal.
that was Manziel magic
That was nice.
in that area going on right there. Then let's
Caleb
go
Williams
on to,
did that. ESPN would still be posting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's
sure.
go on to my Texas Tech boys.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Fuck you, Lubbock, Texas. All right, I have no respect for you anymore. I used to love you, now I don't. Don't know what happened. All right, we're up, I think by 17 at halftime.
Something about Laramie up there, man.
I don't know
who was in
what the
this game?
Cowboys had
Texas
going
Tech,
on with
Wyoming.
them.
Oh, okay.
I guess what it was they were in white and we were in black, and in normal Cowboy fashion, they had to get the dub. You know what I'm saying?
I reckon.
So Texas Tech shit the bed. Obviously, was not proud of my South Carolina bet either. Felt like I had to take them though because I'm still preaching Beamer ball for the rest of the season.
Yeah,
They're
that's
off-
going to be
That
Their
upset,
offensive line's
that
terrible.
upset against Georgia's coming, boys.
not a shot.
Yeah, poor Spencer Rattler. Does
Yeah.
CTE probably set in by the age of 30?
If-
Probably be in a wheelchair, looking like Dr. X.
If North Carolina, Mac Brown's North Carolina, can get 9 sacks against South Carolina, how many is Georgia getting?
Gun to your head, do you take his South Carolina to beat Georgia or his Florida to beat Georgia? Because those two
I think
teams
you
are
could
ass.
combine the two rosters
And
and
they
they
still
get
couldn't.
they're still 21-point underdogs. They're not covering 21. You could combine the two rosters, and I would
Georgia
not.
did not look pretty though.
I still by then
Georgia did not look the best in the world.
They'll
looked
figure it
a
out.
lot better than both of those two teams.
All right, and then we'll go on to Clemson because Dabo Swinney, as I said, went with a whole group of Tyler Renfro's and got Renfro'd.
Yeah, that was just I don't know.
Yeah, it was horrible.
And like they were moving the ball, and then they would just shoot themselves in the foot.
All I'm going to say is I'm coming for it this week, boys, and it's some hot takes. Don't take them if you feel like it, but I'm just going to let you know we're doing better this week.
Is Clemson terrible or is Duke solid?
Duke's
Well-
solid. Duke's was a 9-win team last year.
I'm going to be honest, Florida State, cakewalk. They're cakewalking.
You got to be
all the way.
careful with that. I mean,
Nah, I mean,
whoever set that line on that Clemson game knew that Clemson was down, and I guess we really didn't.
did they? Duke
Somebody
was a
knew.
9-win
Somebody
team.
knew something.
Duke was a 9-win
They
team
stormed the
last
field
year.
in the first game of the year.
Cade
That-
Klubnik's
that was
odds to win the
much.
Heisman, and he came out and looked like he couldn't have won
Yeah.
a JV football game.
I
Man,
think
yeah,
he
he had a lot of
Clemson-
throws. I'm like, dude, what are you
He was
throwing to?
not good.
He was
not
terrible.
at all.
He was bad.
Then their
Meanwhile-
receivers don't know what they do at practice, but they look like Bama's last year. You could hit them right in the hands and be like, oh, sorry.
And their defense didn't look great.
Maybe it's the Nike gloves. Maybe they need to switch up, go to Adidas or something.
Yeah, I
Maybe
definitely
it's-
think it's Florida State's to lose now.
It is, I think.
Clemson, maybe it's Dabo don't have Deshaun Watson or Trevor Lawrence, and he don't have Brent Venables no more.
Yeah, you're right. The defense.
Yeah.
Defense
They
did not look great. I mean, they weren't the reason
Then
they
I
lost
had to
that game by any
Sit
means.
there
But
and watch you and your Oklahoma Sooners
What are you going to?
put up 74 fucking
They look good.
points.
They went
What
good on
else
that.
do you want to cover from last week 1?
well, I can go. Or
I'd
Can
love-
I start out with my? I
Well,
started
can I-
out very
can I say my
red hot.
picks?
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, my bad. Sorry,
Yeah,
I completely forgot about
Jacob, I don't know if we told his season record, 3-5, 38%. And we'll get to my picks here. I had the Iowa Hawkeyes minus 25. I preached about how the offense coordinator has a clause in his contract if they don't average 25 points, and I think he should look for another job.
He might as well
He
start.
We
averaged-
got off
he
to such a
averaged-
good start.
He averaged the
Drove
25.
right down the field.
But the average of 25 is if they average 25 points a game, they're winning. They're not going over 25.
Yeah. They started out, I couldn't have drove it up better. Like, we drove right down the field, passing touchdown. Got the ball back, passing touchdown. 14-0. I'm like, this is going to be easy.
Yeah, I thought we were
This is
cakewalking
going to
it.
be easy. And then they just stalled. They just quit scoring the ball. I don't know what happened. They just could not move the ball.
Saving their players for bigger games. I don't know.
No,
it was bad.
No, it was
hard to watch.
Very hard to watch. That's the whole after the first quarter, it was just miserable to watch, and I was just watching the TCU Colorado game at that point. Then also on that same 11 o'clock slate, I had the under in the Tennessee Virginia game, which when Iowa was looking good, this looked good because Joe Milton did not get off to a good start. We can get into it here in a little bit when we cover through these games, but he throws the ball way too hard, which is good and bad. I mean, he's just throwing it as hard as he can every time. It's just
and as far as he can.
Yeah, just 99 fastball. It'll be a 2-yard slant. He's rocking.
Should have had 2 more touchdowns on the deep balls too.
Yeah.
Everybody has seen the replay of that guy dropping.
Yeah, that was a moon ball. That was a good ball. But so I started out 0-2 for the day, and I thought me and Karson was going to be in the same boat today. Thankfully, I swam to shore, let Karson drown. Penn State came on minus 20.5. I'll take the backdoor cover. That late touchdown didn't really matter to anybody other than the Penn State bettors, but thank you, Mr. Franklin. I will take it. Their quarterback looked decent, too. He looked pretty good. I don't know how much you watched of this game.
Penn State's a difference maker in the Big Ten this year.
Yeah, they have a quarterback. They have a quarterback who can throw the ball. They haven't had a quarterback really since McSorley.
Throw it on a dime.
Yeah. Also, at that slate, I had the Tulane -6 along with Grayson. I love Tulane. I love that team. Their quarterback.
It was a solid.
I'm glad he stayed. I'm glad he didn't take all the money that
their colorway is sick too.
Yeah, their colors are awesome. It was so much fun. I cannot wait for this week.
I know.
And then Sunday night, I had the Florida State Seminoles. I'm on the bandwagon. I'm on the right side of history here. Felt good about that. They looked phenomenal. Jordan Travis looked great. Johnny Wilson looked great. Keon Coleman is a dog. Jared Verse is a grown man.
The Seminoles put in work in the transfer portal.
They did, yeah.
They went to battle.
Yeah. So I finished out 3-2 this week. So my overall record is 5-3. I'm at 62%. So half of the pod is over 50%, and I'm saying that is not easy to do.
Not at all.
These games, when you're picking spreads and you're picking odds that are -110 and normal odds straight bets, they're not easy to hit. Everybody that bets knows that.
Especially week one. You're going in blind. You know what you know, or you think you know, but you can't figure anything out too much.
You think you know that you know, but you never really know. Know what I'm saying?
You think Iowa's offense can score 25 points? God.
Cover 25. They're getting 25 a game.
Yeah, no, it was. Oh, they barely got 25 a game.
Yeah, I think it was right at it, wasn't it? 24.
I think it was 24. So they didn't get it. I do not think that guy's going to keep his job. But so that's all our picks. So we'll move on to kind of some takes and stuff. What we learned week one. What did we learn week one?
I learned I can't fucking stand this clock rule.
Yeah, there's a lot of commercials too. That's the worst part about it to me.
Yeah,
I saw good commercials.
I saw a stat from the Sunday night game. How many commercials there were? It was on Twitter. It was, or X, whatever you want to call it. It was, I think, 100-something ads that played in that game.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Then you can't even see the replays now either. They don't want you to see the replays.
Yeah, that was another thing last night. That first Duke, what we thought was fumble. They just showed one bad angle and just cut to commercial. Yeah. I'm like, I don't want to see the commercial. I want to know if this guy fumbled or not.
Well, there's things that separate college from pro that make college football special. I think they're taking it away from us.
Yeah.
We want to make the game faster. Ooh. I don't mind watching a long game.
Yeah. I don't either.
I feel like it makes your day go by a lot quicker if the game was, slowed down.
It's all money. Yeah. College football's ran by money now on TV, and it's miserable.
I feel like you're going to have a hard time getting me to take overs now because I just see myself getting mad at the clock.
But then it's just teams that run the ball, teams that pass the ball, they're still getting the same amount of plays.
I feel like if your team is down 10+ in the fourth and another team has a good running game, RIP, they're just going to milk that clock.
The Colorado TCU game did not feel quick to me at all.
It
Like,
wasn't.
It
wasn't.
wasn't any faster.
Well, you get more passing in
'Cause
there
you're
and
passing,
everything, and the clock's stopping a lot more. It's
What it is going to affect the most is when teams are trying to mount a comeback, because the teams that can run the ball will just run the clock out.
I don't know if it's the first down rule that's ticking me off the most. I honestly think it's the out of bounds thing I've noticed here lately. There's 0 point to run out of bounds anymore. Because I've watched multiple games this past weekend where the guy runs out of bounds. They'll stop it for a split second, and then it starts right back
it starts
up
for just a second, and under 2 minutes, I think, is when it stops completely.
That's
it'll
how
stop
it
in 2
usually.
minutes.
That's how it used to be on first downs, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
was in
wouldn't. They'd
pros.
stop it till they started. They could move the chains.
Yeah.
All right, let's start out with what I think was the game of the week, Colorado and TCU.
Yeah.
That was something. Colorado is a lot better than I gave them credit for.
I told you.
I don't think you
told
expected them to beat
I
TCU.
Nobody
told
did.
you.
Nobody
You didn't
did.
ever say they were going
I
to
But-
beat
never
TCU.
said they were going to beat TCU now, but I told you the boys were coming.
I don't know.
And
They're
that the
good.
4 wins are going to be there.
I don't know why TCU had so much high, I guess, because, they were in the championship last year, but they lost a lot, so I don't know.
Well, they went to work in the transfer portal, too. I mean, they got, 4
They're-
Alabama players on their team now?
They're still going to win some ball games, some good games down the road, but, I mean.
Their offense was still really good.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like Colorado's defense stopped them. It was just that game came to whoever had the ball last was going to win that game.
Yeah.
Their defense didn't stop anybody.
Travis
Until
Hunter
the
looked-
last drive.
Yeah.
Until the last and then they finally decided, hey, well, let's do some
Yeah.
tackling.
Travis Hunter looked phenomenal. I mean, he's
Yeah.
a dog.
My question wasn't as much with him because I knew he was good, but Shador Sanders looked good.
Do you think both of them could be in if the numbers stay up like they are, even if they lose? I mean, they could lose by.
They'll get talk about it, but they're not going to be
Yeah.
in New York.
Probably not.
They got a long road ahead to get to that point. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, especially when you got.
I want to go with a hot take here.
Okay.
That's USC's loss right there. First loss.
I don't think so.
Well, I think if I am going to bet an over, it'd be that one.
Okay, San Jose State. Do you think they're better than Colorado?
Their defense is
Okay.
probably. I would think. I don't know.
We haven't.
I don't think Colorado's going to be able to stop Caleb Williams
No.
from anything. They're wide receivers.
They'll run up and down that field, and I mean,
But their
we
defense
don't know
is
enough
pretty
about.
terrible, too.
I don't know that they can beat Nebraska this week. I don't know.
Did you watch that Nebraska game?
They should have won that game. They got screwed out of that game.
Brother, the only reason they stayed in that game was because
I think their defense is better than TCU's.
Hey, we'll get to that.
do.
We'll get to that.
I don't know. I mean, the spread's only 3, so it's not like a guaranteed
Yeah,
win.
it's
here.
if you. It's,
I mean, it's going to be a fun game to watch. But Dylan Edwards, what about him? We got to say something about him. I mean, 3 touchdowns, 5 receptions, 135 yards receiving as a running back. He's a running back.
yeah.
He played very good.
They looked a lot better than we all expected them to look. I mean,
Shout out the white safety they got a pick. That was
yeah.
cool.
Don't see many of them anymore.
Nope.
Was he wearing number 43 or something like that?
Yeah.
I don't know if was he wearing any gloves or anything. I know he had tape on,
yeah,
but I don't know
he
if he
had
had
gloves
gloves on.
I guess to kind of float off the Colorado game and everything, Ohio State did not look impressive at all.
No.
Kyle McCord,
No, they got a
not
quarterback
it.
problem.
Anybody
And
have them in the playoff?
Me.
Ryan Day, he's
He's not. They're not
he's in a slow cooker right now. I mean,
Who's
They're
playoff-
receivers. They're the best receiving room.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Marvin
yeah.
Harrison Jr. and Adu. They got
Ibuka,
shut
yeah.
down by Indiana secondary.
looked great. They showed up for that game.
I got a stat here somewhere. Thought I did. Let's pull up their wide receiving yards. It was not good at all. I thought I had it, but I may not.
Yeah, I probably would have had it pulled up. I didn't think about it.
It was like they each had like 2 receptions. Bear with me for just a second. Here it is. But, I mean, Indiana holding them to 23 points, and they scored kind of late. Like, Indiana's offense is terrible. And I think Ohio's defense is pretty good. But Indiana's defense played. Marvin Harrison had 2 receptions on 6 targets, 18 yards.
Jesus.
Ibuka, whatever his name is, had 3 receptions, 16 yards. So you held the 2 best receivers in college football to a combined under.
They didn't throw for a
38
touchdown.
yards.
They didn't throw for a touchdown that whole game. So that's crazy. I mean, I guess we'll see in bigger games. But you're struggling with Indiana at home for week one. Should be
especially when you have these type of receivers that you had Marvin Harrison in the Heisman race.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
if he's getting shut down, if you shut down one, all right, you're just like, this guy's not going to beat me. That's one thing. But shut down both of them? I mean, Caleb Stover did have a good game. I think that's his first name. Caden Stover. Cade Stover. He had a good game. I mean, he had 98 yards, but still, man, he took both of them out of the game.
Well, I think they don't have enough weapons really offensively, so there's going to be so much focus
I
going
think they just
into.
don't have a quarterback.
Well, they don't, but they're going to have so much focus on guarding Marvin Harrison Jr. and Ibuka that it's going to let
That
those.
shouldn't throw off your quarterback though.
Well, I mean, and he's still. I mean, like you said, Cade Stover had 98 yards. Julian Fleming had 58 on 6 and then 5 receptions. So I mean, that's not terrible, but you can tell it definitely affected. They had those two receivers locked down.
Who do they got next? You know.
I can tell you,
I don't think they play. It's a tough schedule until Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame's going to beat them.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I like.
Yeah.
They'll probably wax
They play
Western
Western Kentucky.
I know, but that could be a good game.
Yeah, it is at Ohio State. They play at Notre Dame on week 4.
That'll be a good game that week.
Yeah, I'm taking Notre Dame if I have to.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what Notre Dame does this week. But all right, let's move on from there. Who you want to go to next?
I'd like to just slide in a little quick comment before we go to the next game. Cringe guy of the week, JJ McCarthy.
Oh yeah, I'd love to get on this.
There's something about the guy. You ever just see a dude and you're like, man, you got a punchable face.
Michigan.
He's got a punchable face.
Michigan is the corniest team in
Free
all of college football.
Harbaugh.
Dude,
It's a self-imposed.
let's not go too far here. That's one of Grayson's boys in the Heisman hunt.
I really couldn't care less. I mean,
Yeah,
I think
they
they
are
could still win it.
cornballs.
But
The free Harbaugh thing was probably up there with the Baker Mayfield jersey on the field. Like he passed away. He really just grabbed his nutsack and he was suspended for that game. Y'all acting like he's dead. Give
Yeah,
me a
they
break.
acted like Harbaugh was dead. They're
Free
like-
Harbaugh.
They line up in the human centipede to represent it. What are we doing? It's a self-imposed 3-game suspension.
I've got him in a playoff, so I kind of want to see him do good. But
I don't want to see him lose.
Yeah, it's like it's a battle right there.
He is the most I sent a tweet, and he's the most look at me player, J.J. McCarthy. He's the most look at me, look at this, no, dude, chill out. Like,
Do you think he tells people to like, hey, you can grab my picture right quick while I stare at this other team celebrate?
for
Just
sure,
do it?
for sure. Yeah, he's Hall of Fame cornball. That made me very, very mad. That whole little game did.
They still killed him though. So
I mean, yeah, they still killed them. They're a good football team. I'm not saying they're not, but they just that was rough.
if you want to hop back to something we talked about earlier, was Florida. Utah didn't look I know they didn't have Cameron Eisen, but still,
Their
their
defense
team
looked pretty good.
Yeah, they did, and I mean their offense looked like it was struggling a little bit. So I guess when Cameron Eisen comes back, we'll see if they're everything they could be. But
I think Billy Napier's getting close to being on the hot seat.
he may get fired in the next few weeks.
The only thing
They need to do something.
they have a top 4 recruiting class in 2024, and I think that's the only reason he still has a job.
there was a stat on their offensive line in like short yard situation. I wish I had it, but it just something about the mistakes they made. Like it almost broke a record. I think
Their offense looked terrible. Like their defense was better than their offense, but their offense looked ferocious.
Let's talk about this on a little bigger picture here. The SEC looked bad in primetime games.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Florida got beat by Utah, embarrassed by Utah. South Carolina got embarrassed by North Carolina. Got embarrassed. LSU got embarrassed primetime against Florida State. I mean, that's 3 programs in SEC in primetime games.
Yeah, if you're an SEC fan, you need those games. You have to win those games
Yeah,
to talk
you at least
about how
gotta win.
dominant you are.
You gotta win one of them.
Yeah, if you're gonna want,
It just means more,
If you
all
want 6 of the
this.
12 in the playoff hunt next year, you better be.
I mean, that's just. I mean, but it's to me the bigger thing is they're getting whooped in the trenches. All 3 of those teams got whooped on the offensive defensive line. Battle of the front 7. They just got beat in it.
Well, LSU wasn't as bad
That
as
second, their O line's not great.
No,
they
but their
couldn't run the
defensive
ball.
line, they're pretty good.
Their defensive line is good, and they were missing the defensive tackle.
Yeah.
But their offensive line was not good.
No.
They couldn't run the ball. That second half, they just got.
I don't know if they even wanted to run the ball. It was like they were relying on.
They were trying. They just could not.
Jaden Daniels does not look good.
He didn't look like the biggest problem to me. Like their wide receivers dropped some balls, and he didn't have a lot of time. I feel like, but I mean, yeah, he didn't look great. He started making poor decisions, and then the second half, they just like gave up.
Can't believe
they just gave up.
They beat us last year.
What did you think about Brian Kelly's in his post-game interview where he's like, we're just not the team we thought we were.
Yeah,
I mean,
at
least he's owning up to it. I mean, you talk shit in the beginning, at least you're owning up to it in the end. So.
How do you say that week one? That kills your players a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, as far as your locker room, you just lost it, buddy. It's tough to rally the troops after you just pretty much told the media my team's kind of ass right now. So
yeah. So opposite of the SEC this week, let's go back to the Pac-12. Undefeated in week one. The whole Pac-12 is undefeated. Well, they won 13 games as of right now.
Utah, Florida, that was probably one of the closer games. Everything else
wasn't
kind
a lot of marquee matchups.
I want to see the point difference between Pac-12 and an opponent.
What was the best game in the Pac-12? UCLA or Colorado and?
I would say that game. Utah, yeah, I mean, dude, I didn't know Oregon won 81-7 or something like that. That's ridiculous.
Oregon put up 81. That's the quarterback conference. I mean, you got Caleb Williams, Michael Penix Jr., Bo Nix, Cam Rising, Shadur Sanders, DJU looked good. Clemson wasn't the problem. Clemson's loss to Duke wasn't even the only loss of their weekend.
He was in his apartment eating some nacho chips, smiling ear to ear.
He was so happy. Dabo owes him an apology.
I'd like to see them against a good team here in the future because their O-line is supposed to be
what DJ's a sub.
Dude, did you see any of the highlights?
They're the second best O-line in the country.
I seen a highlight and he stood there flat foot, didn't move in the pocket. There was that clean of a pocket, he just didn't move.
He's gonna have some great stories when he's a security guard.
Who could they upset in the future?
He may get drafted. He's going to put up so much numbers because they don't play defense in the Pac-12. That's why all these quarterbacks look so good.
I mean, they play Utah. They'll play Colorado later in the season.
Canadian football league's got to have some people throw.
Utah's the only defense in that whole league, really, outside of maybe Oregon and Washington. But nobody else plays defense.
It was a solid week one of football, really.
It was fun. It was fun having a full slate. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
Where's game day at this? It's at Bama, right?
It's at Bama. Yeah, it's Tuscaloosa. It's gonna be fun.
I can't wait to get into all this.
We can go over Bama right now. We'll go over their quarterback, Jalen Milroe.
Quick rundown?
Yeah, we can do a little quick.
If I need a quarterback, if we line them all up and say who's going to win a fist fight, I think Milroe's the guy.
If we were in a UFC fight with quarterbacks,
he's the dude.
You
think Kate Clement's going to fight that guy?
Yeah, we're head and shoulders above everybody in that. Milroe finished today with 3 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns.
He's the
first time ever done by an Alabama quarterback. I found that kind of hard to believe.
Yeah,
I didn't know that, but O-line looked really good. They've controlled pretty much everything there.
What about penalties? What do we look on penalties? I don't think we had that many that game.
We didn't.
I didn't think we did.
That was a big topic of discussion coming into the season.
We
was our penalty column.
We were horrible about penalties last year. That was our major downfall, especially on the offensive line. Awful at just giving yards up.
False starts, holdings. Yeah. Sticking in the state of Alabama, Auburn's got a fat running back, and he's awesome. He is awesome. He may be I wish he wasn't on Auburn because I would love to have a fat running back. He scored. He scored. And did you see it?
I didn't.
He broke a tackle and kind of got outside there. And I'm like, holy shit, he's fast. And then a wide receiver just ran flat past him to block for him. I caught up to him in that, but he still scored and it was awesome. They go.
They got a Jerome Bettis.
Yeah,
dude, they play so late.
They have to travel to Cal.
I don't know. That game will be interesting for some reason. It'll be interesting.
You're still awake, yeah, it will be. I had my notes here said Clemson sucks ass.
Lane Kiffin's already hating. Lane Kiffin's already hating life of Pete Golding. You love to see it.
Yeah.
We had weathered that storm for a while. I'm glad that piece of shit's not on our team anymore.
Yeah. Oklahoma's gonna be okay. They got 2 quarterbacks.
They'll be okay. They'll be okay.
Ole Miss is gonna be all right too.
You like them versus Tulsa? or Tulane.
Tulane. We'll get to that. We'll get to
Tulane.
We'll get into that. Yeah, Ole Miss. I mean,
They
ran the
shocked
ball.
Logan. They shocked Logan.
Bro.
I knew. All right, I know Judkins is good. I still don't know that Josh Dart's good. I'm not, or Jackson Dart, whatever. I still don't. I'm not sold on them. I'm definitely not sold on their defense. But I knew Judkins was good. I knew they're gonna run scores up when they play bad teams. But we're gonna see this week if they're good or not. I'm leaving that out. Like same thing. Like I'm leaving. Like I liked Milroe. I liked his game.
We'll learn.
I'm a Milroe boy. But next week's gonna tell me everything I think
It will
I wanna
answer,
know.
can he throw the ball?
It's
in
going to
tight
answer a lot,
windows
and it's going to
versus-
answer a lot of teams are going to have some. And Ole Miss is one of those teams.
We left one more game off, and then I'm done with week one. Texas State beating Baylor at home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was crazy.
That was
You want to talk
bad.
about hot seat, Baylor.
Yeah, their quarterback got
photo-
hurt as well.
The photo of TJ Finley resurfaces.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Where is it at? Yeah, he played pretty good. He played good. Bo Nix played good. Maybe it was just Brian Harsin, guys. Robbie
Maybe.
Ashford scored, didn't he? I think he scored. Yeah, it may have just been It may have just been Brian Harskin or whatever. I think that's about all I got for our little recap here.
I wonder what he's up to these days. Probably coaching a girls' volleyball team.
I have no idea. I wonder actually what he is up
If
to.
I'm him with that payout, I'm probably sitting on the beach watching.
He's probably watching a girls' volleyball game.
Yeah.
Him and Coach O.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think about that right now?
Did you see Hugh Freeze after the game, like immediately on Twitter being horny, just like flirting with girls?
Yeah.
Like, it was like, I'm back,
Did you
baby.
see the Urban Meyer?
Yeah,
thing?
on the side.
Yeah. Horny Guy of the Year award, Urban Meyer.
Dude, he is.
The camera was like, "Oh shit, my bad."
Yeah, they did him dirty.
Brian Harsin, per Sports Illustrated, is living comfortably in Idaho. That's where he's back.
That's a
living in
load of
Idaho.
shit.
That's where. No, his payout in Idaho is like hitting the mega millions.
Yeah.
Idaho cost of living cannot be high.
He's living the high life after screwing Auburn. Yeah.
Yeah.
He knew what he was doing.
All right, well, I think that was a good little rundown, and we can take a little break here and ramp back up, and we'll get in our week 2 picks and preview. Welcome back to the Four Verts podcast. This is the second half of our week 2 preview. We'll start out in Kansas on Friday night. Kansas is welcoming the Illinois. Did we ever figure out what it actually is?
It's the Fighting Illini, or yeah, I think it's Illini.
There's only one person in this room that really knows the mascot's name.
Yeah.
Yeah, Illinois fans.
So Kansas is favored 3 points at home. Over and under is 56.5, which sounds like a lot, even though that great Illinois defense we talked about did let Toledo score a little bit, but they didn't cover last week. Anybody got to play on this game Friday night?
I do not.
I do not. I'm going to steer clear of that one.
I want to keep a good mood till Saturday.
I don't have one of my 5 picks on it, but I will be betting Illinois. I'm addicted.
It would have cost you last week.
It would. I mean, I did bet it. I bet it last
it.
night too,
I bet
or last week. But I'm gonna do it again, and I'm gonna see. My boy
There you
Tom
go.
Fernelli's not gonna lead me wrong.
Kansas is getting
Hey,
a lot of love.
speaking of that, Tom Fernelli went 0 for 11 this week. So, and he does it for a living.
Could be worse.
You have a daytime job, so
Yeah. What's your excuse, Tom?
yeah, Tom.
Sounds like you're sleeping on
At
the
Tom
job.
Fernelli.
I'm out here being a healthcare hero on the side.
Yeah. All right. So nothing Friday night. I mean, we'll probably bet on it just to watch it, whatever. I know I will. But Saturday morning, waking up real early, Nebraska at Colorado. This game's like sold out. You know, they're going to be nuts. Like, Dion's got Colorado fired up. He's got the Buffs buffing.
You love to say that, though. I mean,
I mean,
that's
yeah,
another
you love
team
it,
in the
probably.
mix.
This is the battle. To me, this is the battle of what program's back.
Yeah.
You know, Nebraska's, been trying to get back to the 90s
Yeah.
forever. They got Matt Rule.
Not gonna happen.
Who's back? Who's back first? Colorado.
Not gonna happen.
I couldn't touch it because I want to bet Colorado.
Coloro's favored 3.
along
Over and under
with
59
everybody
and a half.
I am
else.
taking Colorado.
Official pick.
That is an official pick.
Official pick.
It's not my lock. It is an official pick, though. I'm riding with Dion and the boys this season. took them in that 4+ win season.
Yeah.
Gotta have it. And I feel like this is number 2.
This is win number 2.
I've already gave you the hot pick on the USC game.
Yeah. I don't agree with USC, but I think this is for sure a winnable game for Colorado.
Nebraska, I wrote down a couple things. Nebraska did not look good last week. I don't know how much of that game y'all sat down and watched.
They did. No.
Well, it's really like
The offense.
They could have won that game.
They're gonna have, if you want to play against Colorado, you are gonna have to put up numbers on offense, and they could not do it.
Yeah.
And Minnesota's defense is decent, yes. It is not the defensive pass that they've had, and you could tell because Nebraska did put a few points up on them on a trick play. Of course, we'll go into that. Don't really need to.
I do think Nebraska's defense overall is probably better than TCU's. I don't know how much.
I'm gonna say that, but at the same time,
at least
they're not.
front
They
seven.
don't have TCU's offense.
No, they don't. Yeah, that's for
They're
sure.
not
That's
putting
for
up.
sure.
They are not fixing to put up numbers, and I think
They're not.
that Colorado has the potential to put up like another 45 points this game.
If Nebraska wins this game, it's going to be ugly.
Yeah.
It's
Do you
gonna
know
be
where that
very-
game's being played at?
Colorado.
Colorado.
Yeah, that's big right there.
And we got them at -3. Is it -3 or -3.5 right here?
-3.
-3.
-3. We got them at -3.
So that's your first official
That's
play
my
this
first
week.
official play.
Anybody else got any skin on this game?
I may take a first quarter, first half, but that's about it. I have to wait and see the line.
I love a good team total in that game, really. But anyway,
First quarter line is probably going to be, a half a point. I figure it's going to be a half, probably. I know it will. So that if you think Colorado's going to get off to a hot start, that'd be a good little bit. All right, we'll move on to NC State at Notre Dame. Notre Dame's favored 7.5 over under 51.
I've got that game. I think I learned my lesson with Notre Dame the first week of college football, week 0. So
I found a 7 out there.
Did you?
I did find a 7.
I found a
That's
7 also.
on FanDuel.
That's much more appealing than this 7.5 I've got
So
from
you're on
DraftKings.
Notre Dame.
I'm on Notre Dame. Sam Hartman looks too good, and this will be a good. It's a slot test. NC State's a good ball team, but I think they win this game by double digits probably.
I'm also riding with Grayson here, and Notre Dame is my lock for the week.
Mark it down for 3 because I
I
have
love
them as well.
Wow.
All three of y'all.
I have Notre Dame as my lock. 7.5. NC State.
Well, I'm going to give you 7. I'm going to give you 7 because
Okay.
I found a 7 right before
That
the
is,
show.
Okay.
that is
We'll
not
do
my
7.
lock. It's just a pick, not my lock.
It's
Yeah,
my
just
lock.
a pick. Too.
NC State let UConn put up points on them. They only beat them by 10 points too.
Yeah, UConn's not that good of a football team, and
No.
that was
That was a
made their
pitiful
defense look
performance
bad.
by NC State compared to last year. And of course we know Notre Dame.
I feel like we're
is-
very Notre Dame
Oh, I'm-
positive
I'm-
podcast.
I'm-
Like,
I
as a
haven't
whole.
felt this
I'm
good about
Sam
Notre Dame in a
I'm
while.
pro Sam Hartman.
Me too. Yeah, I love Sam
The
Hartman.
whole way.
But also, their running backs are good. Their running backs are
They've
really
only
good.
allowed 6 points
Their offensive
in these
line
first
is
2
good.
games.
Yeah,
Offensive line's
their
good.
run D is phenomenal.
Their run defense is something else. But the thing this week is going to be the secondary.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
NC
for
State's
sure.
fixing to
They
come
can throw
out.
the
And
ball.
they're going to try and air raid the fuck out of it. So
Yeah. So we got 3 official plays, all on Notre Dame -7 here. We'll move on. Sticking with the 11 a.m. slate. Vandy at Wake Forest. Wake Forest -10. Over under 57.5. Does anybody have anything on this? Jacob, you think you can get another win here? You got 2 under your belt with Vandy.
no.
I don't think it's out
I'm
of the realm
hoping
of
for it.
possibility.
It's not out of the way, but I'm not banking on this. I'm banking on that slip up at Missouri
Yeah.
and that potential Florida losing the head coach and being the absolute worst team in the SEC.
Yeah. I think that's also in the realm of possibility there.
And I'm banking that being my 4 wins right there.
All right. So next game we'll move on to Utah at Baylor. Baylor did not have a great week last week. Does anybody have a skin on this game?
I sat there and thought. I mean, the line was kind of closed for a minute. I thought about Utah real hard, and then I thought about Baylor losing at home week 1. They're going to be pissed off a little bit, and that may just be nothing. Maybe a flunk year for Baylor. I'm not touching the game, but I would probably ride with Utah if I was going to pick something.
I am riding with
I'm
Utah.
taking Utah.
I have Utah as well. So
Baylor's quarterback
I don't
is hurt.
like that we're all picking the same games here. That's making me nervous.
Baylor's
Yeah.
quarterback is hurt. They looked like garbage last week. And it's one thing if you're looking like garbage and your main quarterback's coming back. It's another one if he's hurt. We all agree we like Utah's defense. You know, back to you. I think a 10-point game would be manageable. At 7.5, I like it.
Yeah, I mean, is Cam Rising playing? Do we know? I'm tired of having this conversation. I'm
Yeah,
saying
I know,
those.
yeah.
I'm
I
trying
haven't looked.
Still don't know.
I don't think they've said for sure. So the spread's 7.5, which I don't love. I'd love
I
a
hate
7.
that half point.
It was
love
7 last night, and it moved to 7.5 today. But I would love a 7.
Said just a pick, no locks on that game.
Just pick for me. Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll move on. Troy at Kansas State. Kansas State minus 16.5 over under 50. Anybody got anything on this? I'd like to see Troy get it close.
I think they can. I think they're fully capable of keeping within 16.5.
Yeah.
So
I don't have a pick on it.
I don't either.
Me
I don't either.
So we'll move on. Purdue at Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech minus 2.5. Enter Sandman. Somebody cue it.
Yep, go ahead and cue it. I'm going to go 2.5 with
That's
the
what I'm
Hokies.
talking about.
I like that game. I think being a home game helps. Purdue didn't look that good week. Well, they played one game already.
Yeah.
They didn't look that good. Virginia Tech, I thought I had stats in their quarterback and their receiving deal. I mean, their offense looks really good. They looked a lot better than they did last
Who
year.
did they play last week? I didn't watch
Virginia
any of it.
Tech, they played it wasn't just a nobody. Maybe Old Dominion or something weird like that.
Yeah, that sounds right. I didn't watch any of it. I don't know anything about either one of these teams, if you want me to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot. I mean, Purdue's
Enter Sandman, though. I mean, it's going to be bumping.
Yeah. Oh, what's Old Dominion got to go off of the band Old Dominion? I mean, name one
Maybe.
song about them that's worth
I
a
say
shit.
Purdue popping up in like a Big Ten game and winning it when you don't expect them to. But right now, I'm gonna take the Hokies.
They won the Big Ten West last year.
Yeah,
They did.
they pop up when it matters sometimes, but that minus 2.5 just look too
Enter
tasty.
Sandman covers 2.5.
Yeah.
I think. All right. So Grayson's got an official play. Va Tech minus 2.5. Then we'll move on to James Madison, Big JMU, at Virginia, and James Madison is favored 7 points. They're a good team. I mean, they were very good. They were a pretty good team last
They
year.
played good last year.
They played. They weren't bowl eligible, but they would have been bowling if they were. But
They
they
had a fairly tough schedule considering all things like App State being good and
Yeah.
East Carolina was all right. I think they played both of them, but
Has anybody got a play on it?
I'm out on it.
Yeah, I'm not going to touch it either.
Not touching it.
Okay. Ball State at Georgia. UGA's favored 42 over and under 65.
God, that's a lot of points.
It's a lot of points, man.
I don't
How
wanna
is
take
that?
100.
You want to take the 64?
I kind of want to take under.
Yeah.
I don't.
I could. It's like I can't believe they had Bama at 51 last week, and they're only going to put Georgia. They're going to put Georgia at 64.
That's a lot of points.
That's an elevated.
They learned their lesson with
ceiling
Bama
right
last
there.
week, though.
I
They
will
won't,
s-
they won't be that low
I,
again.
I
was
thought
a
64 was a lot of points last week
Yeah.
with Colorado.
Yeah.
I just don't see
Yeah, but
Ball
you-
State scoring.
I
I don't either. Not in that. I think like 52-0
And-
maybe, so they could cover the
Unless
spread.
Georgia
but
decides-
All right, script. Give me Georgia. Official play. Changing the script.
Okay.
Georgia under. Georgia Ball State under
God.
65.
Now you
I
gotta
talked
go with-
myself into
Now
it.
you got to go with what you were going to replace. What you're replacing that with.
well, we'll get to that.
All right, we'll get to it right now. 2:30 slate. Ole Miss at Tulane. Ole Miss favored 7.5.
Talked you out of it.
You didn't talk me out of nothing. Give me the green wave outright. Upset.
I'm not going to lie.
I've not taken them outright, but give me the 7.5 points. Give it to me right now. This team is going to expose Ole Miss. They're going to stop that offense. Ole Miss is not going to be able to stop Tulane. Their quarterback's experienced.
They
He
look
came
so
back.
good.
He got offers probably from Ole Miss to come there. He's the better quarterback in this game. Jackson Dart is not.
He threw what? He threw multiple picks last week.
Logan's just
Jackson
Dart.
He threw. I don't hold me to that. I'm pretty sure he threw multiple picks last week.
Let me look. Let me look at this. I don't think he did.
I may be
Brother,
wrong.
Jackson Dart went off last week.
Maybe I've got a different quarterback in my
Go
head.
and look at those stats. Logan is going strictly off of his on Ole Miss wins. Here.
This is a
life-saving moment for Logan right here.
I mean, this is a legacy
I'm
pick
gonna
here.
let you know this. I was talked out of this pick. Okay, I was going Ole Miss, and then when I see this Utah line and I realize Baylor's quarterback is hurt, I was like,
he did not throw a pick. I'm thinking of
it.
a different quarterback.
Michael
That's my
Pratt
bad.
threw for 300 yards, 4 touchdowns last week against
Go-
a good South
go-
Alabama. That South Alabama defense is
Go
better than
look
Ole
at
Miss's.
Go look at Jackson Dart's numbers.
South Alabama can win that
South
conference.
Alabama's
They
a good
can win
team.
that conference.
Mercer's not.
When was the last time
South Alabama's favored to win that conference right now.
When was the last time South Alabama beat Troy?
They could this year.
Last year, probably.
No, they didn't. They have not beat Troy in
They're
God
a good
knows
team.
how long.
They're a very good team.
They haven't beat Troy. They haven't beat Troy in 5 or 6 years.
That game was iffy for a minute, but then Tulane took over. But
Yeah, I think Tulane's a good team.
and it's a home
believing
game. It's a home game for Tulane. So what Superdome? I'm pretty sure.
It's in New Orleans.
I think you're going to get bit right here.
I may. That's all right. That's like your South Carolina pick last week.
Oh yeah, I knew
It's a
that.
team
Well,
you
hold on,
like.
time out. I knew that was going to happen.
This is. Let me put my balls on my table.
Okay.
Let's ride with my guys. Michael Pratt. I like him. I like that he stayed at Tulane and didn't go for the money. And
Any relation to Chris?
maybe that would make me like him more. Yeah, it's just a pick I had to do, and I'm really going off script here. I told myself I wasn't going to do it, and then I talked myself in the Georgia game. So I'm rolling.
Yeah,
with the
I'm looking
vibes
through
here.
this list. I'm
ride.
like, maybe I should talk myself.
I'm just going off of vibes here.
ride.
All right, let's move on from that game. I can't wait.
Can I let you know I'm going to fade you on this? Off the
Off
rip?
the rip? Yep, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that doesn't hurt my feelings.
I want this marked down though.
Okay.
So it's your official pick. It's
my official pick,
It's
yeah.
it in the room. Okay.
All right. Texas A&M at Miami at Florida. Texas A&M's favored 4.5 over under 51.
If it was in Aggie Land, I would take A&M, but it's at Miami.
I'm not taking this. Definitely going with Miami right here though. They look pretty
Really?
good.
Yeah, they look really
They
good,
did
but
look
A&M is
really
going to cover
good.
that -4.5, and that is an official pick.
Ooh.
I'm riding with Jimbo for a minute.
He's going fishing with the boys.
I overlooked this game a little bit. Miami did look really good, better than we expected, but they played Miami, Ohio last week. So
Yeah.
I think Texas A&M's always there to win 8. They could win 7, 8 games, in the SEC and whatever. I'll ride with it, -4.5.
I'm not going to do an official pick, but I will be betting that game as well. I'll be betting Texas A&M. Okay. Iowa and Iowa State. Iowa -4. Over and under at a crisp 36.5.
How we feeling on this one right here?
I'm not going to let my vibes here cloud my judgment. I'm still going to not bet in this game.
Yep. I'll
I'm
ride
not
with
gonna
you
do
on
it.
that.
I'm not going to do it.
Iowa, you are blacklisted
I'm
until
not
further
gonna let
notice.
I'm not going to let the intrusive thoughts win on this one like I did the other 2 picks.
Iowa, who do we have blacklisted right now? We have Iowa blacklisted.
And Clemson.
Clemson blacklisted.
Clemson, LSU maybe.
They're-
Karson didn't sound like he's just completely cutting out LSU. He's not off the LSU yet.
Clemson.
Oh, I can tell you another one. I didn't air this pick or anything. I took Kentucky first quarter, and they were getting beat first quarter, and I don't think I'm betting on Kentucky ever again.
Yeah.
I made that mistake last year with Will Levis. Bought into the hype with him. I'm not doing it with Devin Leary. I'm just not.
They disrespected Alabama so much on that first half, and they on the over as well. We ate it up.
Yeah. The boys, three of the 4 boys here did hit a big play. Jacob wasn't.
No one
in
let me know
attendance.
that it was going on.
He was out of office.
I didn't
was
get
not in
that. I didn't get
attendance.
that 30-second text of hey.
We were all together at kickoff.
Yeah, you should have been there at kickoff, man.
We took Alabama 28 team total first
No,
half.
27.5.
27.5 team total, yeah. And we hit the 28 on that bomb from Jalen Milroe, and it was
That
nice.
beautiful
was
52-yard.
That was a recovery
bomb.
pick.
That was a
Sure.
nice little 5-unit, just go for it pick. That was fun. All right, UNLV at Michigan. Michigan's favored 36, over and under 57. By the way, I did I told y'all non-official pick. I was taking East Carolina. I cashed that bet. They didn't cover.
They didn't cover?
Michigan didn't cover. I cashed that bet.
They probably covered this week, but I don't have anything in that game, so.
I don't either. I want to take UNLV just because.
Out of spot.
Just because I don't like Michigan right now. But anybody have anything on it?
I don't.
I'm clear on it.
All right. Marshall at East Carolina. I told you about the East Carolina covering last week for us against the mighty Wolverines. Marshall's favored 3. We have a pick on that. Anybody riding with the Party Boys at ECU?
I'm not touching it.
Not touching it. I would probably go ECU.
Yeah, I don't know anything about
really
Marshall
don't.
this year.
I'm not worried about that game, so.
All right, Kent State at Arkansas. Arkansas's favored 37.5. They look good. Did y'all see my boy Rocket Sanders? KJ Jefferson put up like 50. What did they put up? They put up 50-something. Does anybody have a pick on this?
Arkansas game? I'm clear on it, too. I'm kind of.
I feel like we're fixing to hear somebody who has a pick on there.
No, I don't. I just want to give you some stats. I'm not going to pick this game. That's a lot of points. I don't know anything about Kent State.
I don't like points this
Kent
week.
Kent State does have a new head coach, first-year head coach.
How bad did UCF beat Kent State last week?
Killed him, I think. Murder.
Murder.
Over the ball.
I'm telling you, I think we had such gap spreads last week, and then this week I feel like everybody's closed them down too far, and so there's going to be a lot of points.
56-6. Oh, my God. I'm about to take
Stop.
Oh, God.
Lock it in, brother.
That's I have left. I don't have enough picks. How many do I have picked?
You have 2 more, I think.
Yeah,
You
I
do.
have. I really like my
game
2
time
picks.
decision here, boys. What will it be?
If we all 4 pick one day, if it happens, fade that pick.
Wow.
You're thinking about it too long, I wouldn't touch it.
That's a lot of points.
They'll probably cover it. I'd eat up that first half team total, most likely. It'd probably be in Arkansas. It won't be that high. So
Arkansas's defense isn't bad either.
Give me Arkansas.
There you go.
Official pick.
Let's go. If you gonna ride the pine, you better just
I may not
get
pick
on the
one
wagon.
pick on my
Yeah, I was
notes.
like, Logan's changing all his picks.
37.5.
5.
Yeah.
I'm calling it right here. Logan's going 5-0 this weekend.
I can see it.
If so, I will not plan anything the rest of this podcast. If I go 5-0, I'm not coming with notes. Just vibes.
How non-confident you are, and like you've swapped so many picks. Whatever your lock is, I'm terrified.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot all about picking a lock. We'll save it. I got my last pick. I really like 2 picks here. That's what I'm struggling with. All right, so let me give you some stats on the boys last week. KJ Jefferson, 246 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. That's what we like to see. Rocket Sanders didn't even really play that much. Had 42 yards but 2 touchdowns. Pretty easy day for him. I mean, I like the squad. 3 touchdowns for my quarterback.
I
2
think it's
rushing
completely
touchdowns for
doable.
my. I don't know.
I mean, that's what
Especially
the
knowing
first
now
half,
that
yeah.
Kent State, they have a first-year head coach. Their head coach left to be the coordinator at Colorado. They have a first-year head coach. He just got embarrassed by UCF. They're going to Arkansas. I like it. I may regret swapping that up like that, but we'll see when we get there. All right, Tulsa at Washington. Washington, another big spread, 33.5 over under 64. Do we got to play on the Huskies?
I don't have one this week, but that 33.5 doesn't really sound all that bad.
They really
the
don't.
defense can hold out.
Washington looks like they did last week. I think
know.
they could.
I don't know a lick about Tulsa, so
don't either.
I'm off that game probably.
I think did Tulsa win?
I'm
I have
sure
no
they.
clue.
I'm sure they did. I really don't know for a fact.
I don't know. I want to say that they lost because I looked at it earlier.
I have no idea. All right, since we don't have a play on it, we'll move on. If that's all right with y'all.
It's
Cool.
fine with me.
App State at North Carolina, the famous rematch of that fun last year's game.
We're staying away.
That was an awesome game last year. I don't think it'll be close this year, but I'm not. I don't have an official pick. I'm going to bet UNC.
Yeah, don't
But
don't
I'm
doubt
not.
Drake May.
I've got an official pick on that. I like that minus 18. I mean, App State had all their hype last year. That's not going to be this year. Drake May looked too good against South Carolina, and their defense actually looked okay. So I like that minus 18. That's just an official pick.
Okay. I'll be riding with you, not on official pick, but
So who has their locks besides me?
I haven't bet a lot yet.
My lock is last. Say the best for last.
My luck is last two.
Okay.
I think I only have one more pick.
Wow.
I have 2 games. I'm actually just going to do this on the fly, too. I don't know which one I'm going to pick. All right. Oklahoma's got SMU coming to town. Oklahoma's favored 16, over under 68.5.
Lock minus 16, Oklahoma.
I like that bet.
I like it, too. I'm going to be taking it with you, not as an official pick, but I will be betting it.
I think we've seen what their offense can do. Their defense shut them out. I think they got it clicking on both sides of the ball. Lock me in minus 16.
I like it.
I do
like
too.
that pick.
I'm confident in that one.
Has anybody else got an official play on this?
Even forgot. No, I'm good on it. Even forgot I went 0-5 last week. I'll ride with you on
I think
that.
you got a comeback week coming.
I was.
I'm going to say that because I like a lot of your picks here, and I hope you win them.
We share 2 of them, don't we? Utah and Notre Dame.
I don't have Notre Dame.
Oh, okay.
I did have it wrote down, though, so I'm going to bet it. But all right, New Mexico State at Liberty. Liberty minus 10. Grayson, you're back on the Liberty wagon.
I wanted to be. It was on my board for just a minute. Something about that minus 10 in Liberty. I was hoping for like 9.5. I would have really probably locked it up, but I'm going to be off that game this week.
Okay. UAB at Georgia Southern.
Trent Dilfer.
Georgia Southern minus 6.5. Is there a reason this is on my prep sheet, Grayson?
There would have been, but I changed my mind last minute. Thank goodness.
I was wondering. I was like, you have to have a play on this to put this on the sheet right here.
I don't know anything about Georgia Southern. They could have the nastiest team in the world,
Are
but
they still running the wing too?
I don't know. That's what I kind of was thinking, if they're running some funky stuff down in South Georgia. But I liked.
Time out.
We went to just.
We have an insider. We have an insider with some UAB ties.
I'm not sure if he's playing for him anymore, Big Dog.
I would have rode.
He may be listening too.
I would have rode
I have to ask
UAB.
him.
I would have rode UAB plus 6.5. I like that. Kind of too close for comfort.
He
for
got
me,
a shoulder
though.
MRI the other day, maybe out for the season.
Oh God, no!
It's too much information. All right, Cincinnati at Pitt. Pitt's favored 7, over under 46.5.
What's those Cincy boys looking like this year?
They did not look bad the other day. Emory Jones was not bad at all.
Is that
Emory
who's
Jones is
there?
there?
Emory Jones is
Wow.
at Cincinnati.
Can he throw the ball?
Yeah,
I'm about to look at
pretty
it.
sure he did very good the other
Say
day.
now I know you're lying.
In that Cincinnati offense, yeah, man.
I know you're lying.
I'm about to
now.
look
If
at
Desmond
it. bro.
Ridder could thrive and get a first-round draft pick out of there, I'm pretty sure Emory Jones can.
Well, I think Desmond Ridder was a lot better than Emory Jones. Oh, he had 345 yards, 5 touchdowns.
I told you.
Wow.
Y'all gonna start putting some respect on Emory Jones's name.
No,
dog.
I'm not yet.
Pitt
They
being
played
minus
Eastern
7.
Kentucky.
Pitt being minus 7. That's too close.
Pitt's a lot better team.
Pitt's a
than
good
Eastern
ball team.
Kentucky, though. But we'll see. Yeah, I like to see. Pitt's got a decent defense.
Yeah, we're going to get off of that one for sure.
All right,
Not
prime
doing
time slate. Texas at Bama. Bama minus 7.5.
I think it's actually minus 7 now. I think it's floating.
It was
7.5 is
It was minus
disgusting.
7, and then it went 7.5. Give me just a second. Does anybody have a play on it?
Tune the fucking band, boys, because I'm coming in hot. I'm tired of all this Texas talk. You come into Bryant Denny, we done put their band up in the upper deck. We done got payback on that much.
Put their fans up there too.
Put the fans up
Oh,
there.
I'm saying minus 7. You got minus 7.
Yeah. Taking Bama. Don't see Texas really putting up a lot of points in Bryant Denny. I think they're fixing to get that first real SEC experience there, and they're just going to have to fight that fight out on their own. And I don't see them putting up a good one. So, I'm riding with Bama. minus 7.
I'll probably have skin on that.
I mean, yeah, I'm definitely
I
betting.
mean, I've got a.
What's the over under?
54.5.
I'd like that too.
You like the under?
I
or the
like
over?
that too. I like the over.
I just smell a little.
I could
I
see.
smell a little ESPN magic to make this game go a little funky. Some bad calls here and there. That game may be a little closer than
I like
we all want
that
it to.
49-21 score. I feel like that's what we're fixing to get right here.
I don't know.
They're
Sometimes
not
it's
expecting-
a
I feel like
game.
the under
The
would be.
reason why the
I think we're going to try to run it more than pass it.
They
The
have-
reason why the over and under is so low for Bama is because no one knows what the offense really looks like. Still, to this day, after last week's performance even, no one knows what we're fixing to come out and do against Texas.
They held back a lot last week too. We didn't really get to see just
Yeah,
crazy things
exactly.
from yours.
It was, and we have found our wide receiver one. I feel like he's made a connection. Stats don't lie.
I think so. All right. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go against it for sure.
I just don't want to touch it. I just don't want to jinx anyone.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry, boys, but I had to.
We'll do a first half total again.
And I'm gonna get
Yeah,
yelled
we'll
at.
include
I'm gonna
you on that
get
one.
yelled at here in a minute.
No, if we lose, yeah, you're getting blamed. You'll get blamed more than Jalen Milroe will get blamed. All right, Oregon at Texas Tech. Oregon minus 6.5. Over and under 66.5.
If you're gonna take a bet, take Oregon minus 6.5.
It's good. I'm glad we're agreeing because that is my lock of the
There
day,
you
or
go.
lock of
I
the
had
week.
that as well.
Minus
We
6.5.
got 2 3-way picks on here.
I don't have it.
I'm not picking it.
Oh,
I
you're
mean,
not picking it?
I'm going to bet it, but not official.
I'm taking
Also-
Oregon as well.
I love the over in this game.
Do you?
I do too.
It
I
was
do.
That was between my
What's
my
the
last two
over?
picks, 66.5. Oregon's coming off 61 or
They're
81.
fixing to put up, and then
Texas Tech don't play defense.
probably going to put up 21 points themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a shootout.
Yeah.
I love the. I will be betting over several units.
You say you're locking it?
That's my lock.
Carson, you have it as well.
Yeah, I have it. Oregon.
Official pick. So we're still waiting on your lock, right?
Yeah,
My
We're
lock.
still waiting on Logan's lock.
No, I said my lock was Oklahoma.
That's right. That's right. So
Yeah.
we're down to Logan, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, I can't wait for this.
Oh,
I
I
know
feel
exactly
like-
what
I
it
know what it
is.
is.
all y'all's
I know
picks.
what it is,
Is all
too.
y'all's picks done?
I'm done.
I've got one more.
Oh, okay.
I got one more too.
Have we already went over it?
No.
Was it the 2:30 slate that we didn't have?
No, I didn't see Oklahoma when I was scrolling through, but that's
Oh, we still got a few games on.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, yeah.
All right, UCF at Boise State. UCF minus 3.5. Over under 57.5.
If you're going to bet it, bet UCF.
Yeah, I'm not touching it.
That
I'm not touching
performance last week was
Boise State, though,
pretty
I feel
phenomenal.
like, I don't know. I feel like they're upset how that game went.
I feel like I was about to say, I think
bounce back game.
I think
maybe
a cover
incoming.
on.
I don't know why this game's
I'm
on
gonna stay
here.
away from it.
We can disregard this game if you want to. It's
Yeah.
SEC, whatever. I don't know.
All right, Jacksonville State at Coastal Carolina.
Mhm.
Lock it up. Coastal Carolina.
He couldn't help himself.
Riding with the
Nah, I
boys.
myself.
You're
Give
going
me-
against Smothers?
Yeah, he doesn't play.
No, he does. He does.
Player of the
He
game.
plays
He
last
got
week.
player of the week.
They're a
last week.
different ball team.
Yeah.
I was gonna.
Let's put up numbers.
This was on my board. This was on my board, and I took it off because I seen Smothers was playing because I hated the other quarterback for Jack State.
Yeah, that was part of the reason
They're a
why I
different
bet
ball
this.
team.
No, lock it up. Give me the Shallow Utes or whatever they are.
Shane is going to come. Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
the coast of Carolina.
They're
Yeah,
Gamecocks
they're
or
the
some kind of
Gamecocks.
yeah.
No, they're not.
They
Yeah,
are.
they are.
They're a bird.
Do
They're
you
a bird.
think I don't know what they are?
Bro, you should know.
I know. I just don't know how to say it.
Guest picker on the show next week, Shane Smothers.
The Chanticleers is what they are.
Yeah, we don't know what that is.
A
It is,
Gamecock.
it's a bird, but it's called the Chanticleers.
So you're
brother.
out of picks now.
Yeah, I'm done.
You're out. We're waiting on Jacob's lock and Carson's last pick. Correct.
Correct.
I thought you
No,
already
I
locked.
already locked.
Yeah, I think
Jacob already
Jacob's out of
It's me
picks,
and
right?
Karson on our last pick
Oh,
here.
okay.
What'd you say your lock was?
Was it ND?
Notre Dame, yeah.
Okay.
All right. UCLA at San Diego State. UCLA minus 13.5. Over under at 49. Anybody got to play?
I almost did. It's on my board, but it's on my extra picks. I would have took UCLA minus 13.5,
But I
but
say I can't bet San Diego State every
Yeah, they
weekend.
look
bro,
sloppy.
but I looked at Jalen Mayden's stats from last week. He ran the board up. I don't know. I'd still go UCLA.
I think I know Jacob's lock. Or
Is it?
Jacob's other pick.
I it was almost my lock.
I'm
Wisconsin
going to go ahead
at
and
Washington.
say that it's
At Wazoo.
Carson's too.
Wisconsin at Wazoo. Wisconsin minus 6. Anybody got to play?
I like Wisconsin. That's
Me
it.
too. Arizona at Mississippi State. That's a long ways for those boys to travel.
Mississippi State's got a good ball team.
Minus 9.5.
A lot of points.
Recovery year? Yeah, I mean,
I'm not taking it. It's a lot of points.
I'm not touching it either.
Okay. Southern Miss at Florida State. FSU's favored 30.5 after that victory.
That's my last pick.
Is it?
I'm gonna try another high spread. I took it at 30 this morning.
You like the points all around, don't you? Just love
You love good
craving points. You love football.
Yeah, I'm not taking an over and under this week. We've seen how that happened last week. So
Okay.
I think Florida State. I'm gonna eat my words.
Yeah, you learned your lesson.
I've learned my
LSU
lesson.
boy.
I'm man enough to admit. I think Florida State. They got some Southern Miss. Surely you can hit that. Like I said, I have it at minus 30. But 30.5. What's it matter?
Give you 30.
Johnny Wilson, wingspan of LeBron James.
He's big.
I mean, who on Southern Miss wants to know they got to guard that guy?
I wouldn't. Stanford at USC. USC minus 29.5. Jacob.
I know where he's at. I know where he's
I know
going.
where
I
It's
know
not
where he's
here.
going to.
And I almost did it with him.
So has
So
anybody got a play
we'll
on it?
skip this game. USC probably cover that spread. Stanford looks terrible.
Don't you dare say USC will cover a
Yeah,
30.
we learned
you
that
just
lesson.
Shut your
29
dirty
and
little
29 and a
mouth.
half is a cheat
Shut
code.
your dirty
29 and a
little
half is a
mouth
cheat
over
code.
there.
Okay. Auburn.
Let's
In
hear
the
it.
sunny state of California.
Late
Auburn
at
minus
night.
6.5. It's going to be late.
On the
Gotta
road.
ride with it though.
The real Auburn fans stand up. I think we can settle the debate. I thought y'all were both going to do it, and I was about
It
to
was-
say y'all
it was on
both
my
are.
board.
I want if it was Auburn at home, I'd be all over it.
If
Well,
it was
yeah.
not, the sole reason I didn't pick this game was because I didn't want to stay up till midnight and watch this football game. I did
It's
not.
going to be late.
Oh, if you think I'm gonna stay up to watch it, you got me just.
So you have confidence.
Bent
So
over.
this is your last pick.
Yeah, this is my last pick. I didn't like
I-
anything else.
I like this
I
game.
like a lot of things. I wish I had 6 picks. I really do.
We don't have to go over that
Kinda
last
regret.
game.
We're not going over this game. I just picked Auburn out of pity.
Okay. So Auburn
It's not a
minus
bad
6.5. All right. So,
We can cut it there. We can go back through picks.
yeah, Monday. I don't even remember what all I picked.
I don't either.
I kind of went rogue there for a little while and just went off script. And now, I don't know what's going to happen.
You have it wrote down, don't you?
Yeah, I wrote it down on this, but so Grayson, do you want to go ahead and give us your 5
Go
picks?
ahead. We'll start the day with Notre Dame minus 7. I'm going to ride with the boys on that one. I like that minus 7. I think the Fighting Irish they're the real deal this year. Sam Hartman looks good, so we'll see. Enter Sandman minus 2.5. Virginia Tech's got that one. Go to North Carolina minus 18 against App State. And then my lock of the week will be Oregon minus 6.5 versus Texas Tech. It is a away game, but I do think the Ducks can come away with at least a touchdown win there. And my final pick was the Texas A&M Aggies against the play at Miami. It should be a very interesting ball game, and I like that minus 4.5 for Texas A&M.
Karson?
We'll start out with Notre Dame. We got them at 7.5. Hopefully that hook on the 0.5 doesn't come back and bite us, but I think they can get it.
No, I think did we
We
find
got
you
it
a
at
7?
7.
We
Oh,
agreed,
we do have it at 7?
We agreed
Yeah, we
7.
found you at
We agreed
7.
Okay,
7.
all right.
I
All right.
think FanDuel
Even
had
better,
7.
even better. Then we go to Utah and Baylor. Hopefully Utah's defense keeps playing pretty well. We got them at. Are they the 7.5?
They were 7.5. Yeah.
Okay. And let's see, who do we have? I had my lock was Oklahoma minus 16. And I had Oregon minus 6.5, 6.5. I just keep saying 0.5. Who was my lock? Florida State minus 30. A lot high spread, but Florida State, if they say they're the real deal, they can surely handle that versus Southern Miss.
Jacob?
Staying pretty low this week. I'm going with Colorado, with Dion and the boys, taking that minus 3. Hopefully cover that. Then my lock for the week is Notre Dame at minus 7. Then I'm going to ride out Utah with that 7.5 against the very defensive Baylor team with no quarterback. And then, let's see. I'm going Bama at 7.5. Loving that game, of course. It's a night game. Then I'm going to be riding out Auburn late at night. 9:30 p.m., boys.
Very late.
We'll be asleep.
Very late.
6.5 points.
Can I change a pick?
No,
Again?
no.
Can I change a pick?
This scares the viewers, listeners. This is just beware.
I got Utah minus 7.5 along with Jacob and Karson against Baylor. Baylor don't have a quarterback. I have the under in the Ball State Georgia game, under 65. I have Tulane Green Wave at home against Ole Miss, plus 7.5. I have the mighty Arkansas Razorbacks minus 37.5 against Kent State. Then I have, how many was that? Last pick, the lock, late at night, Coastal Carolina minus 13.5 against Jacksonville State. So that's the slate. I believe we just lost camera, so this is a good time to end. Like, subscribe if you made it this far. Nobody's probably made it this far.
Probably not, but hey.
So good. All right, like, subscribe, follow us at 4Verts on all socials. Give us a comment. Whose pick are you riding? You gonna ride the hot hand in Grayson, or is it time to fade him? Karson, he's due.
There's only
He's due.
There's only one way to go, and it's up from here.
He's due.